We're ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to BYOT. We're a group of friends in New York who like to spill some tea sometimes. So let's see what's brewing today. Let's all introduce ourselves. So let's start with the left side.
Hi, I'm Eddie.
Rich.
Kyle.
May.
And this is Dan.
All right, guys. How are you guys doing?
You're not as enthusiastic as you were practicing earlier, so.
Should I do it again?
Rich! Eddie!
Okay, more energy.
Okay.
More energy.
Okay.
Sure. Are we starting?
Okay, yeah, restarting.
Okay,
Are we really restarting?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we got to start it off with more energy.
4,
Oh, wait, I can't
3.
get this then.
Ayo. Ayo, what's up, guys? It's BYOT. Welcome back. We're a group of friends in New York who, like to spill a little bit of tea sometimes. So, yeah, let's see what's brewing today. Let's start with the left side. Ooh, that was close.
Hi, my name's Eddie.
Hey, yo, this is Rich.
Sup, Kyle.
Hi, I'm May.
This is Dan.
So, yeah.
God.
Yeah, so how are you guys doing today?
Doing good.
Good. It's pretty good.
Yeah? Anything interesting?
Went to Flushing today.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a fun time.
I feel like you've been in Flushing pretty
A
frequently.
good amount, yeah. Last week I went to go get some eyelash lift. And then this week I went to get some good food.
What's an eyelash lift?
Basically, when you want your eyelashes to look a little bit more curled.
I see
because,
it.
you know, Asians have a lot of straight or even downward
Yeah,
looking
mine goes
hair.
down.
Mine goes down.
Yeah.
How do
So
you
like
lift it?
they like tape it and then they put some type of
Oh, like
serum.
perming?
Liquid on
yeah,
it.
It's basically they said it's basically perming but for your eyelash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're doing it, are they like this?
Yeah, so like they like put tape under your eyes and then they tape your eyelashes up and then they put the little serum on.
How do you blink then?
You don't.
can't.
Yeah,
You
so you have
literally
to close your
don't.
eyes. When
Oh, so your like eyes are like white.
No, your eyes are closed, but your eyelashes are.
You know, like when you
You're
close
like,
your eyes, but like,
For like,
you know what I mean?
for like an hour.
I heard you watched a movie this weekend.
Yes, I watched Past Lives yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
It was okay.
What? I liked it.
That's what everyone's
expected-
been saying.
I expected more from it. I feel like they just could have gone more in detail. Spoiler alert. They could have gone more in detail with like each of the interactions that they had. It's a good concept overall, but I feel like the execution could have been better.
Yeah.
Did anyone cry?
I teared up in like one or two of the scenes. I think when they first reconnected, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's cute." But then
Yeah.
afterwards, I just didn't feel that connected to it. Like the moment has passed. Not much.
I'm wondering though if like the reason why people are so critical of the film is because they kind of have like more expectation about it before seeing it because it's so hyped right now.
I think so.
I think so as well because the trailer had most of the hype moments, and that's like what I was invested in.
Yeah.
But because I've seen it in the trailer, I go in expecting even more, but it peaked at the trailer. Is my thought.
I think more so it was like very like humane, I guess. There's no like drama, like there's
Yeah.
nothing like that goes against our like expectation, or like it doesn't go to meet our expectation because we expect something to happen. It really doesn't. But funny story, like not that exact, but like very similar situation played out in my life recently too.
Oh.
Because my friend from like elementary school from
Oh,
Korea
yeah,
flew to New
visited.
York.
I remember that. Yeah, I was thinking about
Yeah.
that.
That's true.
So while we were watching that, like, because my girlfriend's not Korean, like when we were talking in Korean, like when I was like translating to her, and then we were like, oh yeah, that's very relatable because we literally went through that too.
How good was your translating? Because in the film,
they just gave up in the middle of the
Yeah,
way.
they're just like
like
In
the
the bar.
translation was just "We're talking about you."
yeah.
I tried my best to get her involved because, especially because it was also beginning of the relationship, and the trip was planned before I met her. So
Related but unrelated. I want to talk a little bit about dating today, as we do every episode. It seems.
Oh, surprise!
Surprise!
I did not see that
Surprise!
coming.
I want to know like what is the hardest part about like dating you as a person. Like I want to know, but I also want to know what's the best part or what you think is the best part.
I feel like it's been a while since, like, you're dating like boyfriend girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I feel like it's been a while since I've been in a relationship, but just saying this is like 5 years ago that I've been in a relationship. But from what I remember, I think the hardest part about me is that I bottle my feelings in.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, I'm very conflict adverse. Like if something bothers me, I don't usually bring it up because I don't want to create a fight or an argument. And then I usually think like, oh, it's okay. Like after some time it'll pass and I'll get over it. But definitely that's not for me. Like I let it build up and fester up, and then more little things happen along the way. And then one day I just explode. And then when I explode, it's really, really bad. It's like World War III. So I think that's probably one of the hardest part about dating me, is that I'm not good at communicating negative feelings, and I should do it like right away or like in a reasonable time without letting it fester up. So yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part. I think I've gotten better though, because I've realized that's my problem. So I have tried to be better at communicating, like going on dates and stuff. I try to be better, but it's still not the same as like being in a relationship.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How does that manifest, like when you're kind of just dating someone? Like, can you think of any examples?
Yeah, so maybe not as something as casual as dating, because those people don't really bother me. But there was this one guy that I dated for like 2 months exclusively. That was like the closest thing I got to like as a boyfriend. But his communication style really bothered me. So I would tell him about it, but I would get on a phone call with him so that nothing would ever be misconstrued through text. And then I would just try to tell him from my side of view like why I was feeling that way. But it was still hard for me, because I would tell him and he would still do the same thing. It seemed like he didn't really listen to me or learn from what I was trying to tell him. So I would try to think of other ways to tell him by complimenting him when he did something good. You know, like, oh.
Yeah, men need to be conditioned.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah, exactly, like positive reinforcement.
This is like training a dog.
Yeah,
It really is.
it kind of
applies
is.
to
Yeah.
people as well.
I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah. Does that work actually?
It does.
Yeah, it does.
reinforcement?
I think it
Okay,
does,
okay.
yeah.
So that's what I would do, and then if he still didn't improve, I would wait a few more weeks, and then I told him. But then eventually, that's what led to us parting ways too. So
I see.
it never got resolved.
No, that's good that you know how to set your boundaries, and you're like, okay, if this is not going to change, then you know, I'm not going to wait for that to
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
Like get into the relationship. Like you don't think that if you get into the relationship, like this is going to change after that.
No,
So that's good.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Oh, I was gonna say, what's the good part?
Oh, the good part.
The
Yeah,
good
You
part.
can only be vulnerable, you know. You gotta cover that up.
Cover it up a little bit.
You know, like
Yeah,
put the bows on it.
But
But I think I'm pretty fair and rational, where I can really understand where someone else is coming from. So I have a lot of empathy. So if I'm bothered by something, but if they could tell me their side and how they're thinking, or even before that, I'll try to get in their shoes and understand why they're acting a certain way. Like for example, that guy, he was very, very busy with work. So it's also kind of bad in the sense that I was trying to minimize my own feelings for him. But then at the same time, I think that I am really good at trying to see a different perspective and seeing if I'm a little, you know, too crazy or like too needy.
yeah, I mean that's important. You have to be able to like listen and like be introspective about how you're I guess treating the relationship.
Yeah. Like, am I asking for too much, or is this like the right mid ground? Things like that. Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. I don't know about other men, but I feel like I had to learn empathy pretty late. I also grew up as an only child. I don't know if that affects anything, like not having siblings, but usually getting my own way in a lot of things as well. So it wasn't until like when I was dating seriously that I had to start learning and like putting myself in other people's shoes. And I was like, I'm doing things that make other people upset.
How does that manifest into the relationship though?
So what I was going to say is I don't take things very seriously. Is probably like one of the biggest downfalls of dating me, because I find everything funny. I can make a joke out of everything. But then when my partner's like actually upset and I just try and make a joke out of it, that will
Yeah.
you can relate,
Yes,
maybe,
I
like-
was gonna say that would probably bother me too.
It was
it's-
funny.
yeah. But for me, I'm like, wow, that is the greatest joke. That is good content. So it's sort of like realizing that and sort of having my partner just tell me like, okay, this is not the time to joke, and learning like we need to talk about it. This is like the situation that we need to resolve, and then that's sort of what I needed to work on.
But what's the
the good part?
I guess being able to joke, right?
Yeah,
Or-
being able to joke.
You said it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like
It's kind of
two sides of the same thing.
yeah.
I see.
The best part about dating me is the worst part about dating me.
Got it.
That be it the case sometimes.
Yeah.
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 It feels like it's pretty coin flippy depending on how she feels as well. Like if she's in a good mood and then I make jokes, it's like amplifying the fun.
Yeah.
But if she's in a bad mood and I make a joke, it's not good. But
Yeah.
there's also times where she's in a bad mood, I make a joke and it cheers her up.
Get better.
Oh.
So for me, it's like
Yeah. You gotta pick and choose. Pick and
What do I
choose.
do? I gotta test the boundaries. And I think like a part of learning that is through empathy as well. Like how are they feeling, how are they responding to whatever situation we're in. And then I think over time as well, you just get a better understanding of that person. And then you can sort of think, this is what they would do, so this is what I should do to help her in that situation.
Gotcha.
Makes sense.
Nice.
I feel like that applies to a lot of people, like in terms of like growing up, I wasn't very good at like random like social dances like that, like when to say what or when to not say something. So like I also had to like go through the learning phase of like how to empathize with someone, how to like react in different situations. But I think growing up, like my natural of who I am is like I'm very logical, very like analytical. Like that's I'm not very like emotional. Like when I was younger, I had to learn to be more of like get in tune with like that side of like people in general and of myself. Now I would say I'm also like the good thing is like I've grown to be very empathetic and like put myself in the other person's shoes. And I can be rational with different things. So like in terms of like resolving conflicts with someone else, I've like gotten much, much better at it. Whereas before I feel like, let's say you're like young, you're like just starting to drink, you have like some boyfriend or girlfriend, and you're constantly like drunk and like yelling at each other and like going crazy, like, and you're saying all these like stupid like meaningless things like, oh, when did you text me then? Oh, I texted you like 10 minutes ago. It's like, no, you did it 5 minutes ago. And I guess it's this back and forth of like just like pointless like arguments. Like I've learned to like get better with those things and like just like cut out all like the useless kind of little stupid arguments.
How do you cut those out?
Because then I just ask like, okay, why? Why did we do that? Why are you asking me that question? Why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do next time to not make you feel that way? Instead of being like, no, it was 10 minutes ago. No, it was 8 minutes ago. No, let me look at my phone again. Let me send you a screenshot of when you sent me that text. It's like, no. Like, let's not do that. Because, like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
What are you trying to prove? Are you trying to prove that, like, I don't, like, love you or something? Like, what is it? So, like, instead of talking about that, let's talk about, like, how to resolve this issue right now and, like, get deeper than, like, just the surface level, like, issues that you're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Whether you're drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
So like resolving those types of situations I've gotten better at because I spent years being on the other side of it, being just the person who's like reacting to all these things and just being like drunk or whatever and being like, what the fuck was that? Like, why'd you say that?
I definitely think that's a skill you learn later in life as well.
It is.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
Because in my early 20s, I was probably the same. Like, it's more about, I got to
Yeah.
win this fight. That's
Yeah.
more important than saving the relationship.
Yeah.
But as I'm entering my late 20s.
Are you a T?
What?
He's definitely a T.
What's that?
Thinking.
like
Thinking
like
in the Myers-Briggs.
MBTI thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
Myers-Briggs.
What's the opposite of that?
Feeling.
Feeling.
Oh yeah, then I probably a T,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think you're a T.
I need to look at the chart and like I know mine's called a certain thing like
What is it called?
conjurer or something like that. It's some random word that like
Conjurer.
I'll remember it
Conjuring.
when I see it on the thing like sorcerer. I don't know.
Magician.
That was weird words there.
Magician.
Like,
Maple Story.
Is it Maple Story? I'm a
it's
fire
like the most
lightning mage.
random like words, and I'm like, oh, that's what I am. I'm like, okay.
Good thing. Good thing.
Oh no, that was my good thing.
Oh.
It's a bad thing.
I'm sorry. I'm not listening.
Yeah, I was thinking like, is that a good thing or a bad
we
thing?
can't tell.
Yeah, resolving conflict, I guess, or like
Yeah.
being rational and empathetical. And then bad thing, I guess, would be sometimes being too logical.
So double-edged sword.
Yeah, I think so too. Because like where that helps me, it also hurts me with like sometimes they don't want to hear certain things, or it makes the person react even worse potentially.
Yeah.
If I'm just like too logical with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're having an argument and I'm like I say like the perfect response and I'm like I think that makes perfect sense to me, so like why doesn't that work for you? That's not what they want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know, sometimes it's hard to deal with
Because
me in that
something
sense.
I've learned is when girls tell you their problems, sometimes they just want you to listen.
They don't want you to fix it.
Yeah.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
That's most
I'm like,
times.
like here's how you do, here's what you got to do, and they're like, oh,
Here's what you
please.
have to do.
Exactly. I'll create like a.
Why don't you just do this?
Yeah.
I make like a 3 or 5 step action plan on how to resolve the problem. And they're like, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a meme before where a lot of girls have that problem, and then the boyfriend's like, do you want someone to listen to you, or do you want someone to like help think of solutions for you? Most of the time we'll pick we
Just
want someone to
listen.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't feel ashamed like asking that anymore.
How about you?
I feel like I've been very vulnerable for the past 4 episodes. I think if
that bad?
No. If someone were to watch all these episodes, they probably know that I'm
They
very
know your whole
insecure.
life.
Yeah. They probably, They probably know I'm very insecure. I'm very emotional. Like, I guess very opposite from Richard's perspective. Like, I can't blame anything for it, but I think it mostly stems from my previous relationship where it was like a little bit toxic just because like we were very young and we just didn't know what we were doing. So I think coming off from that, when I was single for like 2 years, I thought I fixed it. Like, I thought like dating around, seeing other people, obviously it doesn't affect you as much as it does like when you're like with someone and like you really like them. So like when I got into this pretty recent relationship, I still have issues in regarding like the way I communicate certain things. But I think the good part about me, just getting the cover already, like I'm willing to like listen and willing to change. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's the person that I've been the whole time. I'm not like gonna say that. Like I'm willing to make compromises. But like in terms of emotions, it's tough. I think when you're logical, like you can like reason yourself with most of the things. But when you're emotional, like you know the right answer, but you can't act on it. Yeah. So it's very hard.
So is the good thing like the opposite of that? Like,
or like just being able
showing
to
emotion to someone?
It's more like you're self-aware.
I'm self-aware and like I'm willing to make the changes that needed to like, you know, make the relationship better. But it's a work in progress, to be honest. It's only been 6 months and I think I still have a long way to go. And Nina's being very patient with me.
I feel like being self-aware is probably one of the most important things for me. Because awareness is the first step.
It is, yeah.
Defining the problem or overcoming it. So
Of AA.
Is it from AA? I've heard that phrase a lot, but
what is AA?
Yeah, what is it?
Alcoholics Anonymous. First is
honestly, if their advice is like be aware that you have a drinking problem and you can apply it to relationships.
Yeah.
Well, I can't speak for all men, but like I feel like men are usually more prideful in terms of like, oh, like I don't want to change because of like someone told me to, or like it's just hard to like fix that mindset. Especially it was really hard for me. I know like I don't know if it's a Korean thing, to be honest, but coming from Korean background, you know, like most of the men's you see around, not Richard.
The toxic Korean
yeah,
culture.
they're like toxic Korean culture. They get like they have like a what is it?
K-rage.
Yeah, K-rage. I definitely have that. But not everyone gets to see that.
I know. I can't picture that for you.
Only the person that I love the most will definitely see that, which is the worst thing. You know?
It sucks.
What is K-rage? Or like what's the?
We just get angry very
like
out of nowhere, I guess.
I mean, I've played.
They have all their feelings bottled up.
Yeah,
and it comes out every now and then.
I play League of Legends with Koreans.
You see the K-rage all the time.
Toxic League of Legends chat.
Yeah,
and then you overlap that with potentially
with Koreans
men.
with K-rage.
Yeah,
that's
everything
the
makes
worst.
sense. Yeah.
Sorry, I actually have a side story because you just reminded me. So like when we went to Banff, we got some like racist remarks from this one guy, and like all the girls got so mad. We were like
a random person.
Yeah, a random white guy in the corner.
I'm telling you, Canadians are not nice. This is something that I've been saying for a while, but Canadians are not nice. Like
now
I don't know
who Canadians are gonna come for you.
I don't know who's saying all the Canadians are nice. I think Americans are way nicer than Canadians.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
That's my hot take. That's my hot take. That's my hot take. Take it or leave it. Anyway.
But yeah, all the girls got so mad, and then the guys were like, you know, we are mad for you, you know, like this is something that, you know, shouldn't be allowed, but honestly, we've heard worse in the gaming world. We've had every like mean word like thrown at us when people are not happy with the way we, you know, we play games. And so, yeah, that just reminded me of how you guys are used to. Yeah,
I mean, those are like two
different,
very different situations. One's in like in a game and one's in real life.
Yeah.
But like I think people in games, like sometimes they say like kill yourself, get cancer, like really mean,
like you're a failed abortion.
Yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah. And then my friend was telling me how he learned of like different slur words through gaming because people would say stuff to him and he's like, what is that? And then he would like look it up.
That's why I play MapleStory by myself.
The wholesome is that a wholesome community?
By myself.
Oh, by yourself. Do not interact with anyone.
I played a decent amount of games growing up, online games as well, and that just exposes you to like the worst part of the internet.
Yeah.
But I learned how to swear in multiple languages as well because I wanted them to be offended in their own language.
Oh, damn. Okay, Eddie took the extra step.
It's a mind game, to be honest.
I mean, is it similar to like growing up in New York where you just hear random shit
kind
all the
of.
time?
Kind of.
Well, I wouldn't know because I didn't grow up here.
I was asking Rich.
Hey, puta! Oh, I know what that means.
Yeah, but sorry, Kyle.
Oh.
You want to answer?
Let me think about that for a second.
Oh,
I have no
the person
vulnerability.
that's asking.
Yeah.
I'm perfect.
No, I'm not. I'm far from it.
The J rage.
The J rage. Is there such a thing?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel like you guys are so composed all the
I
time.
can never imagine Kyle being mad.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I honestly can't imagine any of you guys being mad.
Oh, I get very frustrated sometimes.
Really?
I feel like I grew up like very angry because like I mean it's also like your surroundings, what you see around you. K rage was everywhere.
Yeah, no, seriously.
So I feel like when I was younger, I was like trying to figure out like why I was feeling all these things. Like I feel so angry sometimes. I didn't know how to like express it until I was like a lot more open with my emotions and stuff. Then it's like you have an outlet to actually like understand your feelings. There's a whole book called Atlas of the Heart or something where they're
Ooh,
like
wait.
it's a huge dictionary of like every feeling you could possibly have.
Wait, really?
And it's like once you have like a way to define it,
Yeah.
it'll help you like express it and get it out of your system.
And yours was
Love
Han.
that.
Yours was Han.
Han? What's
Yeah.
that?
Oh, you don't know? Do you know what Han is?
No.
Oh, I'm
Is
gonna
it a
teach you guys
Korean
about
word?
Korean.
Oh,
Am I gonna teach you Korean
the
today?
Japanese teaching.
Wait, no, that's bad. No, I'm not gonna. Never mind. I'm done. We'll talk about it later.
Cultural appropriation.
We'll talk about. I might explain it wrong, and then it's just gonna be bad.
History repeats
We'll
itself.
talk. Guys, I'm American, like 4th gen. Okay, like you know, I don't know.
I want that book though.
Yeah, me too. Atlas
Yeah,
of the
it's
Heart.
interesting.
I always talk about how I never have the right vocabulary to describe how I'm feeling.
As for me, I think I'm very impatient. I think that's like probably my worst trait. And it kind of manifested when like the midpoint in my relationship where I realized like, oh, I'm like walking, like, you know how sometimes like people just walk really fast and then like your girlfriend's like behind, or like you're not thinking about your girlfriend. You're just like, okay, I gotta get from point A to point B. How am I gonna do that in the most efficient way possible? Like that's me.
Of course.
That happened on the way here.
Right? Oh, really?
Yeah, my girlfriend was like, "Can you stop walking so fast? Just
Right?
wait for me."
I gotta get to the podcast. Like you're the first one here too.
Yeah.
But it happens, you know, like I think I try to be efficient in every part of my life, and that manifests into my relationship in very negative ways sometimes. So it's like at one point I was in Hawaii and I was at a restaurant, and then my girlfriend was gonna ride with my other friend, and then I was riding with my other friend, and then they're like, oh, we forgot where we parked. I was like, all right, well, hope you find it. Like, cause I was like talking to my friend Evan, and then so we left, and then they're like, wow. After that, they're like talking in the car. She was telling me, it was like, wow, I can't believe like he didn't like try to go like help us find our car, or like because it can be kind of dangerous sometimes, like in parking garages and stuff. And then like it kind of all manifested. There's like many more things than that, but it kind of manifested at some point, and then she told me about it, and I was like, wow, like I forgot like who I kind of was in the relationship, because before I thought I was like, oh, I'm thinking about her all the time, but then I realized like I'm not actually, like I let these other things take priority, and I think that causes rifts in our relationship. I think I'm getting better about that. Best part, I think, I actually do think a lot about my girlfriend, like in a relationship, like I do, and I don't know if this happened after this fact, but I do like. I try to incorporate her into every part of my decision making, because I know that most things that I decide to do is going to involve her, or in some shape or form. So try to be empathetic and understanding. And
Damn, we're all empathetic here, I guess.
we're all empaths.
Anyone who says that, that's a red flag.
I'm an empath.
That is so triggering for me. I've never met anyone who's been like, I'm an empath, and they're actually like empath. They're usually psychotic or something.
That's true. So I mean, like, coming off of relationships, can you date someone who is a different texting type than you? Or I guess in this, it doesn't even have to be texting. It could be like communication.
If it is texting type, what texting type are you guys? Because I don't know what I am.
I text back right away all the time.
All the time?
He
But
does.
not in our group chats.
Yeah, not to us.
Well, I'm not usually being talked to in the group chat.
We're gonna tag Kyle on every single thing that we both know.
Kyle, where's your reply? Where your reply at?
I think I respond really quickly when I'm needed. Like if it's a hangout and we're trying to plan something, I'll respond. But if I know they're not waiting on my response, then I might take us some time.
Because I think I'm both as well. I have like two lists: people I reply quickly to and people I don't reply as quickly to.
I think everyone probably has that
Like
list.
that as
Yeah.
well. But in terms of dating, I guess I'm a pretty quick texter. But then so is my girlfriend, so I don't.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you guys are compatible that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
If
would you be okay if they were like end of the day,
I don't know because
10 hours later?
I feel like I would adjust to that as well.
There's-
I would just
yeah.
enjoy my free time in peace and quiet. No,
Yeah.
No, I would enjoy.
I think it's complicated because for me, you guys know my number one
No
love
double
language.
texting.
No.
Oh.
What was it?
Texting.
No double texting.
No
That's her
double
love.
texting.
That's her
No,
love.
no, no, that's
language.
hate language. Hate language.
That's in the beginning. But my number one love language is quality time. If I get quality time through other ways, like I see them a good amount, then I don't think I need to text them that much. But if I barely get to see them, then texting is the only way for me to understand like what they're doing and what's like happening on in their lives. So I feel like if they weren't a good texter or didn't talk to me on phone or FaceTime, then I am bothered by it because that's the only way I can get to know them more. But if I get to see them in person, that's fine because I get the quality time in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that depends. Like, if I get to see them all the time, then the way they text wouldn't bother me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think picking that up, I think like I definitely agree with May. I think I was fortunate enough to like just live with Nina from the very beginning, so I didn't really have to like think about like, oh, why isn't she texting me, because she's literally right there. Even when she does like go somewhere and like not text for a while, like I know, like as long as I know like she's fine and she's safe, like she's at the office or solid core, like I'm pretty fine with like her not responding. Like I guess like only time that I had to think about this was like when she would go on trips, and I would just get so bored because like, you know, so much freedom all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So like I would just like constantly think about it. Like I wonder what she's doing. Like,
Yeah.
and then she doesn't like respond. Then like I just get like bored and like worried. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it all stems from how secure they make you feel. Like
Yeah.
if I feel not secure with them, then I'll be like, why are they not responding to me? Like, did they meet someone else? Like, you know, all these signs that.
If you're not already like dating. Like,
Yeah.
already-
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, like like officially, exclusively.
Yeah.
Long
Or
term.
even if it is official, like, are they doing something, you know,
Sketch.
shady behind my back? Yeah, but if they make me feel secure, then they can do whatever, and I won't mind it as much.
I feel like apparently like women have really good intuition when it comes to that specific thing, or like something that
I think so
yeah,
too.
like you
I
just
think
know
so.
something's
Yeah,
off.
Yeah. There was this one time I was with a boyfriend, and then I had a really bad dream that he was cheating on me. Or, like,
it was through a dream.
yeah, I had a really bad dream, like that he like left me for another girl, and then that morning I texted him like, oh, I don't feel good, like I had a really bad dream about us, and then he's like, can we talk later today?
Oh my
God.
And then we broke up that day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we broke up that
has
night.
any of the guys here been like troubled before because your girlfriend dreamt about like a bad you?
Of course.
Like I literally woke up, get smacked. It's like, you know, in the dream, you like blah 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 blah. Like I'm like, it's not me. I didn't do that. Like I was sleeping right next to you the whole time.
That's so weird though, because it actually manifested
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan, what you hiding?
Don't tell our
No,
audience that they're all gonna start believing their dreams and slap
Yeah.
their way.
Yeah, one time.
You know, like dreams are caused by something that you constantly think about, right? Maybe like he did something to make you worry, and like that led to like you having those kind of dreams.
Yeah, I mean, there was a girl that he had been seeing, and then they became friends, and then they all were hanging out in the same group, so they constantly were hanging around together.
And texting.
Yeah, probably texting too. But they were like, I remember they even did like a camping trip together, and I'm the secure type, so like he went on a camping trip with his ex, like I didn't care. And then they went to like a music festival together, and then after that, that's when things changed. And then my sixth sense was probably like, oh, something's up. Yeah.
Activated.
I like that you're the secure type, but like how does that kind of relationship not change that for you?
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't change my perspective on relationships. I always think of it as like, if they cheat, like good on me. Like at least I knew it earlier than later. And if they cheat, it's their problem, not mine.
Their loss.
It's their loss, not mine. And it's something I can't control. Like if I'm more controlling, I think it even makes it worse.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like I'm the type where it's like I'll deal with it when it comes. But for now, I'll give them the benefit of doubt and trust them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think circling back to when you're first dating, if the texting types differ, how do you know if it's a texting type difference or that they're not interested
Yeah,
in you?
yeah, that is
Ooh,
very
see, that's a
true. That is very
People
true.
do things on purpose, like you
Yeah.
said, no double texting.
Yeah.
May plays games.
May did talk about. She did talk about. It's like, why is
I
May
did.
not responding?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Because I do use the slow responding to let them know that I'm
But
not.
say someone is a slow responding type.
They're
How do
they
you-
loving that. They're like, oh, this is perfect. She's so slow like me.
When I first came to America, like we didn't have texting plan, like because my parents didn't know how to use like texting features in English. So I remember like in elementary school, I was interested in this one girl.
Wait, what did you Amish school?
Elementary school.
Oh.
Ele-
Are you making fun of my English now?
Amish school, and I was like, what?
What?
Dan's Amish. He's Amish.
Amish school.
Dan's Amish. I didn't know.
And then like I got my mom's phone and texted this girl, and like she wouldn't respond, so I would like text like quadruple text whatever, but like each text was like $5.
Bro.
We didn't have text messaging plan.
Did you guys have to call a person's house and it was like the landline?
Yeah.
And it's like, hi, can I talk to this girl?
Yeah.
Your daughter?
And I remember like all the landlines are connected. Like if you have the
Oh, yeah.
here.
Someone
and
can
then like I'm like
eavesdrop.
talking to my phone and
Yeah.
like my mom's like, can you hang up? I have to use the phone. And it's a girl that you're interested in, and you're like, mom, get off. Like,
You like go run to the room and like you're on your phone on the phone. Yeah, that was the best thing when like it went from like cord to cordless.
Yeah.
I feel like kids these days don't understand.
They
the struggles
don't,
we had
they
to
don't.
go through. And sometimes my parents would want the internet, and they'd be like, "All right, stop your call now."
Yeah.
The dial-up.
I also like took one of those like cordless landline ones. I thought like I could use it at, like outside of home, so I like took it to school, and it wasn't working. It wasn't working. I was a pretty interesting kid. I feel like.
Yo, you thought of cell phones before they were a thing.
You invented cell
You
phones before.
invented cell phones.
I thought I could take it. You know?
And then you thought, why can't I do this?
It's like, why is
you
it not
invented.
even ringing? It's
You
like-
invented the cell phone.
His name is Dan Samsung.
Okay. Who hasn't responded yet? To the,
I think
Rich?
Rich, yeah.
Texting.
yeah. We're just so
I'm
logical.
pretty responsive.
Oh.
So most of people I've dated have been pretty responsive.
I feel like girls are typically tend to be more responsive than guys.
Quinn is not.
Yeah, Quinn is
responsive.
not.
Yeah.
So there is an adjustment phase.
So between you and Quinn, you text more.
Yeah. She's on her phone more, probably.
Yeah.
She doesn't respond.
Like just on
Just does not
TikTok
respond.
or something.
I think there's an adjustment for anyone who's like that. I mean, I'm not the type to be like anxious about like where they are, what they're doing, like
Yeah.
are they safe? I don't really worry about that as much.
Yeah.
Being from New York, I'm like, there's crazy people all around us.
Yeah.
Just buy her some pepper spray, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
But there was like an adjustment period because like there were times where like certain things did bother me.
Oh.
So I don't know if I want to go into detail.
Yeah.
but-
No, yeah, you
That's
have
fine.
to. You have to.
So did you like have to adjust or talk it out?
I
or
mean,
what?
yeah, because like then I just be like, okay, like give me your Find My Friends, or so I know where you are. 'Cause
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, let's meet up at like 6 o'clock at this place, and I'm like, I'm there. And I've been texting her like, hey, be there in 15. I'm here now, and then no response. 30 more minutes,
Oh shoot.
and then I'm
Boy,
like,
is that bad?
where the hell were you?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I didn't see your message. I'm like, oh, okay, give me your Find My, and so I know where you are.
I think that solves a lot of problems.
Yeah,
in a relationship.
Do you think that's been like normalized now, the location tracking?
Yeah.
Because I've only picked it up in the past year. Actually, that's a lie. In
2 years?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah, probably a couple of years ago, it was probably seen as like toxic.
I remember the first person who asked me was like someone in our friend group, and I was like, "Why do you need to know where I am?"
Yeah.
But now I'm like, "Oh, it's pretty convenient.
It
I
is.
just know
It
like,
is,
how
yeah.
far away you are."
Yeah.
When I first met Jen,
Start eating after you midway through your sentence.
when I first met Jen, I wanted to just talk like all the time. I mean, like I was in New York and then I met her, and then I thought our conversations were good, and she was kind of doing the slow texting. And then like after the first date, I stopped her in the stairwell and I was like, never mind. And then she was like, what? And I was like, could you text back faster? Because like, I mean, I didn't have a lot of time here, you know. Like, I want to like just like.
He was visiting from Hawaii.
Yeah, for like a work trip. I'm definitely the type to just like text back really fast.
But she confirmed that she was purposely slow texting.
Oh, okay. Well, like for her, I think at the time she was like asking her friends like, what should I say? Like, what should I say to this? You know.
We talked about this in Body Bros, and then we brought her and asked her, and she said like they both thought they weren't interested in each other.
See, that happens often. I feel like.
Yeah, guys want to like play it cool, and then girls are like, I don't seem too interested as well.
Girls want him to like show more interest so that they know.
I think for me, like that was the annoying thing. Like I don't care. Like I don't want to play that game. I just want to know like, are you interested or not? Like I'm gonna text you. If like you don't text me as fast, I'm just gonna take that as like, okay, you know, you're not interested.
Yeah.
That works more and more the older you get, because like people play the game less and less.
Yeah, like as you get older.
You're younger, everyone's like, we gotta do that. You gotta do that, obviously.
Yeah.
Everyone else
so
is doing
obvious.
it. Everyone else is doing it. So if you don't do that, you seem weird.
Yeah, you're
You
weird.
seem needy.
Yeah.
And now the options are like reply quickly or die alone. So
Yeah, right.
I'll reply quickly.
We're getting 30s.
Yeah. In relationships, like what are you guys like super particular about for your relationship? What are some things that are just like, if they don't have this trait or this characteristic, like I'm not gonna get into this relationship?
I'm gonna take Rich's answer from last time. I think they need to be open-minded, because
What does that mean?
like they're willing to compromise. They're willing to see through like other person's perspective.
Yeah. So like the opposite of that would be like being like too conservative, not just in like the political sense, but like if
But that's included.
that's because that's what the word means. Like you don't want to change traditions.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you're very
okay.
conservative. You're slow to change your mind about things. Is like the literal definition of conservative.
Yeah.
So I feel like, let's say I'm on a dating app and I see someone who's like super religious. Usually that means they're more conservative in terms of views on different things, like abortions, you know, whatever it may be. So for me, like that means they're like the opposite of open-mindedness on various topics, not only just religion, but like or like politics or anything, but like it could spill over to other things. So to me, like that's not what I'm looking for. I want more open-mindedness and open discussion of like, what do you think about different things? You know, pro this or pro whatever. I like that, like the discussion of it.
Would you be open to that? Like if you saw, like if you were single and then you saw like she was like religious for any religion,
But they were still open-minded, then.
but like would you even try?
Because if they expressed that they were open-minded, then yeah.
But I mean, like, just based off the Hinge profile, because like you said that if they have religion on it, then they might already be kind of like conservative. So.
Yeah, I mean, in the Hinge sense, where you're like swiping, it would dock it quite a bit. I probably wouldn't engage. If I ran into someone and I already liked them, you know, through mutual friends, and I found out they're very religious, then I'm a little bit more invested rather than just a swipe.
I see.
When you talk about the online dating, like docking points thing, I have a lot of those.
Oh yeah.
Do we want to dive?
Yeah, let's dive in a little bit.
So many too.
Okay, if I get cancelled for any of them, Dan, you have to.
We're gonna have to take down the episode.
We're gonna get canceled. I'm gonna get canceled.
But there's a lot of like
We go down
small
together.
things that I think
I'm very intrigued.
really mean a lot to me. The first one, if I get cancelled, this is the easiest one to crop. The first thing is I want them to speak English, because I've been on dates with international students as well. And then it's just like communicating's harder in terms of both fluency and then understanding the context of jokes, making references to things that happen in day-to-day life. It's just a lot harder.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
I think that makes sense. So.
I don't think you would get
That's not
canceled
bad
for
at
that.
all.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, if they all have pictures of close-ups of their face, that means they don't want you to see their body.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one as well. I think in terms of is it 6 photos or whatever? The photos that they have, they need to have diverse photos. It has to
Yeah.
be some of them,
Yeah.
like of their body as well, so I can judge their height.
If they're
Ideally,
all
one with friends as well. Would be not bad.
Do you have a height requirement?
Yeah.
Oh, what's your height requirement?
like minimum or maximum, mostly.
Or both?
Probably a both.
Yeah. If I was being completely honest, like
Yeah.
5'4" to 5'10" is a good range.
Oh shoot,
okay.
I fall out of that. Okay.
But also, my girlfriend is 5'2", so
Oh.
Eddie's
okay.
really tall. Eddie, how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Flexible.
What's your minimum height?
5'4".
No,
Your minimum
your
height is
minimum, like,
Oh,
height
for me?
for the guy that you want to date.
Oh, ideally, like 5'9" and taller.
Okay.
But I've dated like 5'7", 5'8", so yeah.
Proportionally, it works out, you know. Like, because
Wait, you say you're 5'2"?
I'm 5'2", yeah.
My girlfriend actually thinks I'm too tall, and we look absurd in photos.
It does hurt the neck. Looking up out
You're
all
in a
the
different
time.
like stratosphere. Like, you say something, she's like, what? You say something?
Honestly, I feel like my posture is
It's getting
taking a
worse.
hit.
You're always going
because I'm
down.
gonna be like,
Yeah.
No, literally look at our mics. It's all the way up.
Yeah.
I was asking Dan, can we bring this down a little?
The lowest it
The
can get.
lowest.
and Kyle was like, we need it up a bit more because we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Another thing, vegetarians and vegans. I respect your choice for
Yeah.
saving the planet, but I just can't live with that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of Asian food is around meat as well.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
barbecue,
yeah.
hot pot.
Yeah.
If I had to just live off like corn and potatoes,
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, what if they're okay with you eating meat?
That's good, but no.
It's hard to share stuff,
hard to
like
share
share
those.
food.
And that's
Yeah.
like one of the big things that brings me joy.
What if they don't eat seafood?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
also food allergies. If you have a ton of food allergies as well, that's like
Yeah, they can't help that.
That's just an ick.
yeah, I
I
know.
don't usually put that under Hinge profile.
Yeah,
though.
it's not on their Hinge profile.
All their
Peanut butter allergies. Imagine they have that now. It's like, what allergies?
This is like, so in my group of friends, there's a lot of like dietary requirements. One friend
Oh
is,
yeah, that's right.
one friend is vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
One friend is pescatarian. One friend is allergic to nuts, and one friend doesn't eat beef or pork. So whenever we go to a restaurant,
Yeah.
like a Chinese restaurant, for example, it's like, can we get dan dan noodles, but can we get the pork on the side? And then we have to make it ourselves. When we go to a Thai restaurant, pad Thai, peanuts on the side. It's just everything's on the side. I'm like, why do I eat out?
Only thing I have to think about is May.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I feel like I'm getting pulled out right now.
Why?
I'm 5'2". I don't eat beef. I don't eat red meat or pork.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No
You
lamb.
don't eat red meat or pork.
Yeah.
Well, what about lamb?
Lamb is red meat, so yeah.
No four-legged animals.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the thing?
I can
heard
make it
that
a thing.
before. I've
Yeah.
heard that
I basically
I
don't
can
do
make it a
four-legged
thing.
animals. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Do you
Help
worry
me.
about mercury poisoning because you eat like seafood?
No.
No,
I
it's
don't
not
eat-
really a thing.
Yeah,
is
I don't
it?
really eat
isn't it?
that much.
People say it all the time, but
Yeah, I'm worried about
how
it.
many? How
yeah.
often do you find someone who's like, I ate so much seafood that I actually got mercury poisoning?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
That's true.
Last week I had a lot of seafood. That's why
Uh-huh.
I had sushi. I had the
Raw
rice
crab.
beef, raw crab.
How do you feel?
Did you feel something?
No, but I was like,
Mercury poisoning.
I was like, what are the symptoms of mercury poisoning? Those are the few things that came to mind.
Yeah, for me it was like if they have like one of their prompts is just like John 12, 13, and I'm like,
Oh, I
that's,
see.
that alludes to like they're very religious. So I'm like, I probably wouldn't engage on
I
that.
was like,
kinda
what's
fair.
John 12, 13? I was like,
And then you tell me,
John, my age could be 12 or 13. No,
Bro went to church as a child and he still like didn't get it.
it's been a while.
His
Isn't that how
grandma
you know
still thinks he
Jenny?
is.
Isn't that how you know Jenny? I know Jenny through church. And then he's in church, he's like, who's John? Who's this John? I don't know John.
Yeah.
That's your only thing? If they have
No,
like,
in addition to the other things.
Also, you're the
about,
same
like-
as well.
About what?
All those things
All
that
those
I
other
listed.
things?
No,
yeah.
I'm more open to vegan, vegetarian.
Actually, I would put religion on there as well.
Oh,
Anyone who's
Yeah, if they're super. I mean, if their political affiliation says conservative, I probably wouldn't engage on that either.
yeah.
It's fair.
One of my guy friends, he also told me about like one particular thing he looks for is so you know how people our age like we like party a lot. So he says that if he sees a girl's profile where the alcohol symbol it says no, he doesn't engage because he was like, well, if you don't drink alcohol but if you don't mind it, you're probably not gonna post. Like you're probably not gonna have it visible. But if you're extremely like against alcohol, that's when you'll like actually say no on your profile.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
so
So
he-
usually they could say like sometimes, right? Or something?
yeah, or
Yeah.
like just don't show it on your profile.
Yeah.
I think that's what I do. I don't show it. But so he was like, okay, if you do show it and you say no, it probably means you're against it, which probably means we have lifestyle differences. Like you probably don't go out very often, and he wants someone that likes to go out like with him. So he swipes on those people.
I would agree with that. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
When is it
Ooh.
okay to ghost someone?
If they want to reject me, just do it like a job application. Like, thank you for taking the time to meet with me. We've decided to move forward with another applicant. But ghosting's so commonplace now that I think everyone knows what it means when you just don't get a reply in
Yeah, that's
2
fair.
to 3 days.
Ghosting's probably more okay if like you feel like there wasn't really a connection and it's gonna fizzle out anyway.
Yeah.
And like neither one is like trying to like make plans for the next step.
Yeah.
And then you just let the conversation just not continue naturally. I feel like that's probably when it's like most acceptable. But I mean, like it also depends like how long you've seen this person, how many times. If it's
Yep.
like twice,
Yeah.
then I'm like, it doesn't go anywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's fine. If they don't message me and they're like, oh, like we should hang out, then nobody says anything like seriously, then I think that's fine. I feel also like sometimes when I've ghosted or like things have ended like that, something in my situation changes. Like I start like being interested in someone else and I kind of cut off all communications.
Yeah. Yeah.
And unless they're like trying to reach out to me, like trying to do something, I wouldn't really like respond back to them. Or like you can also see if like the cadence of responses go from like very often to like slowing down, then you're like, oh, like you get a feeling that like something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or like maybe like I've like had interest in someone else and I start to like slow down all the other conversations and then naturally it like fizzles out. And then if anyone was like really like, oh, like why did you do this? Why come you're not responding me like back to me? I would like give them an answer. And I've also said like sometimes like, oh, like, hey, so and so, like I just reconnected with this other person. I think, you know, I'm interested in them, whatever. And a short explanation.
I am taking notes here. They're all very good.
Yes.
So like if this, like let's say this person, they might have, you know, suddenly gotten feelings for someone else. You don't know what their situation
You really
might
don't.
be.
Yeah.
During COVID, I got really into World of Warcraft and I just slowed down all the conversations. I don't have time for this anymore, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have other priorities.
This is more
You
fun.
don't know what could happen in anyone's situation. It could change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I get into these phases where I'm like, I want to be a good person and I don't want, my goal is to not ghost anyone. And then I'll like actually like end it with a proper note. And then I get into these phases where I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna
I just
ghost
don't
them.
care.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, if people are ghosting you, then you'll probably get in the same mindset as like, fuck, I'm gonna ghost these people. Then like, it's just gonna be a never-ending like
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
Do you think people ghost intentionally to like leave it very like vague?
Oh, like,
Like, so they
just
could come
in
back.
case.
Ooh, that's a good
like
question.
planting the seeds.
Yeah, yeah.
So like if you confront someone, like you can never go back. You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what
That
if
is
they
very
do that?
true.
Yeah,
That's a
'Cause
good question.
that did happen to me like a couple of times.
Actually, yeah, I have done that once.
Yeah, you did it.
I have.
Oh, like I like someone did that to me. No, like they were gone for like a couple months and then they came back. I'm like, why are you here? Yeah.
But even okay, so you guys know how I dated that one guy last year. I told a lot of people, like including you, that
Yeah.
I was seeing someone. But there was one guy I didn't tell, and I just ghosted him. And then I felt bad. And then a year later, I apologized. And then we reconnected because I apologized. And then I saw him one more time, and then he ghosted me after that. So it was like back and
Gotcha.
forth.
He's like,
yeah.
gotcha.
I still remember when you first like told me that you started seeing someone, and I was like, congratulations, because like we met on Hinge,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
at that point we weren't like sure like are we friends or not.
Yeah.
Or
I
we're
was
just like hanging out.
Yeah, he was like asking me to hang out. I was like, should I tell him? I don't know what the intention of this hangout is.
Yeah, so she was like, I have a boyfriend. I was like, congratulations! I wish I like bring him out. Like let's grab dinner together.
Not boyfriend, by the way, but
Yeah,
someone else.
yeah, but he was not here.
But there was another guy too that I had a romantic relationship with, who I did end it with, like with a note, and he said, "Oh, he probably said something like, oh, congrats, but let me know if anything ever changes."
God.
Back when I was single as well, I used to call it orbiting. Like, you don't ghost them, but you just sort of have them in your orbit. So, like, when you want them to come near, what I used to do,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like
what'd
follow
do?
them on Instagram,
Yeah.
and then you just like one of their.
I was gonna say that's a good tactic.
Every now and then, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you pull up your list of seeds you planted, and you're like, time to water them, and then you send a like on their story once a month, like.
You let them know, and then sometimes you reply as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
To the story.
and then
Stories.
eventually
Exactly.
it might be time to harvest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me recently. Very, very recently.
Well, you
Somebody
know.
liked your photo.
Somebody like-
Someone liked
yeah.
my photo. So I was in Banff, right? So I posted that picture of me like running, and then I got a good amount of likes on it. But there was this one guy that liked it, and it's been a long time since we matched. So I was like curious. I'm like, why is he liking it now when he's had like months to like my
Part of the seed. Part of the seed.
Harvest.
Yeah. And I was like wondering like, okay, why go through the bother of liking and not hitting me up? And I was like, okay, maybe he's just planting his seed.
That's
like
part of the
maybe
game.
he's like taking his time.
He already
to-
won. You already thinking.
Yeah.
He already
Mental
won.
state.
He's
He already
rent-free
won.
in your mind.
Yes.
Hey
So,
guys,
was it good
all the
though?
guys out there, learn about the seeds.
The orbit.
So
Orbiting.
what-
Harvesting.
I want to know what else you guys do to harvest.
To harvest?
Yeah, or plant seeds.
Oh, yeah.
Other than the
Liking
liking stories.
a
Is
good
there anything
one.
else?
If you go to raves and they go to raves, you run into them.
Mm.
Perfect harvesting season.
Oh, okay,
It's
okay.
ripe for the picking.
How far are you gonna go into this?
Hey, don't stop him.
Usually, like when you water the seed enough times,
Yeah.
and you wait for like that like fate type of moment,
Uh-huh,
and then. Especially if the girl believes in
Yeah.
horoscopes and that stuff. Boom!
That's
You've
your
been
game.
waiting
Especially
your whole life for this
horoscopes.
moment.
Boom!
The stars are aligned.
Why do you think like I tell every guy who's on Hinge like go download CoStar? You got to get into Horoscope Game. You just like set alarm for 11 o'clock. Set alarm for like 2:22 or something like that. All those numbers.
The angel
and
numbers.
Only message them on those moments.
Rich got
I
it.
don't
Long-
know, but you got
Bro.
games. You got
Bro.
game, man.
Your
You harvested.
strategy.
You harvesting.
All this knowledge can no longer be put to you. Wait, I have a question. Do you guys look at who looked at your stories?
Mine's for public profile.
Yeah,
And then there's some random people that doesn't even follow me.
yeah,
That checks my profile. I like the stories consistently.
yeah.
So that means they have to literally like search my name,
Yeah.
like go through my stories
Yeah.
whenever I post it.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why is this person?
So
like,
you're just curious about them. That's why you keep checking. If
I'm
they-
just bothered.
Oh,
Like,
bothered.
because only reason I have it public is like if you have professional
Yeah.
profile, you can unread messages. So that's the only reason why I keep my profile open. But like because like these people, random people are looking at my stories. I'm just like, these people could be anyone, you know.
Wait, what do you mean unread? Like
You can unread
you
messages.
can read a
Open up
message,
the
and, then,
message and then-
like,
Oh.
mark it as unread.
Yeah.
Is that another trick that men should learn?
Whoa, like
Leave them on red.
Oh, if it's a
I'm guessing.
public profile,
Yeah, if it's a
Professional.
yeah.
No.
Oh,
professional.
yeah,
To like a brand account. Or something.
yeah.
I feel like if I was single and like I had people following me that were like potential people I was gonna date.
Yeah.
Is that the seeds that
Someone I
you
met on
applied?
Hinge. No, because then I'd be more inclined to like check if they're
Yeah.
looking at my story.
Yeah.
Because then I'd be like, oh, like they're actually looking at my stuff. Like I'm in their head a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, yeah.
But nowadays, no, I never really
Yeah.
check.
I can see that. Yeah.
I was gonna say the same thing actually. Like when I was single, I would check like the seeds, who's
Yeah.
in orbit,
Yeah.
and I'd be like, all right, can I bring anyone in? But now I actually use it more to clean out my followers.
Oh.
I'm like, I have not talked to you since like high school. Please leave.
How about you, Kyle? Do you look?
I do look. I'm just curious.
Even right now, you look?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't post on my story very often. Like
Yeah.
rarely ever.
Yeah.
But when I do, yeah, I look. Just curious.
Oh, okay.
Who's-
I
who's
always
looking?
thought guys didn't look. for
Do
some
you
reason.
look? I'm guessing
I-
you look.
I look. I usually don't look, but if I have a crush, then I will look. And then usually what I do is I look, I find that person, okay, I'm done.
Knew it.
Do girls also check like if you have multiple stories, like how many
How deep
stories
did they
that
get in?
yeah.
Oh, I usually just look at the last story and see if they looked.
Oh, if they
yeah.
lasted to the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What if they only saw the first story and they didn't see the last story?
Then I'll wait until longer and I'll see if they looked at the last story.
And if they didn't,
If they didn't, I don't know if that's ever happened to me.
well, okay.
Her content is that good. Yeah, so to follow the seed
Analogy.
analogy, it's like you plant the seed when you follow each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you to apply to Instagram, if you see them view your story, the seeds are starting to sprout a little bit, you know. And then if they like it,
Yeah.
then or no, you liking their story. Or this is mostly for the guys, I guess.
Okay.
If you like the girl's story, watering it a little bit more, hoping it'll grow, and then I feel like the end of it is actually like you DM respond to one of their stories
Yeah.
to get a conversation going, and then
Is that still watering
It is
it?
a full game.
that's probably like
It's like checking the
Oh.
ripeness of the fruit.
No, you like.
That's like-
I think you skipped like putting the plant from a pot to the ground.
What would that be?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying you missed a step.
Yeah. So DMing would be like the next step, right?
Uh-huh.
So that's maybe the plant's like starting to grow more.
Yeah.
It's almost ready to be harvested.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's starting the fruit, but it's not fully ripe yet. So you get the DM going, and then when you actually run into them in person, or like you serendipitously like end up at the same friend's party or like birthday or whatever, then it's fully ripe. It's juicy.
I have another step in between. I think when you interact with them on more, like messaging more, you show up more early on their stories.
On the story.
So that's also
Yeah,
another
so you
way,
wanna
I
get in their
think.
head
You
more
want
and
to
more.
get your story to show up first before anyone else's. So they always click on your story.
Wait,
Like,
what
like
happens?
every one of their IG posts.
Like, for example, if you follow a lot of people, you're going to have a lot of stories. But if you interact, I think the way Instagram does it is like if you interact with them more, their stories will show up.
Yeah, I think
first.
so too. If you DM them, I think that
Yeah.
increases it a lot.
So I think
visibility.
DMing increases the visibility. So like most likely if your story's up and you interact a lot, they're probably gonna see your story. So if you I think that's another
Everything
step.
around this is just algorithms. we're just trying to understand every algorithm and like game every algorithm out there. It's all just a game.
It is.
Yeah.
Is everyone's girlfriend on the first of the list?
Ooh.
Oh,
Oof.
Mine is.
spicy.
Yeah, mine is too.
Mine too.
Yeah, mine too, of course.
Oh. I have a question for you guys. Can you guys tell when someone is newly single on Instagram?
They start posting more.
Yeah. Can you guys pick that up?
Yeah, I think I start to get the signs.
I think I can, especially if they've posted photos with their partner previously. If you go through their feed and they're gone, then
Usually like uptick in posts
Yeah.
and uptick in their traveling. They usually start
It
traveling
is
more.
true. It is
It's
true.
like finding yourself.
Yeah, more
fair.
traveling posts, more posts in general.
if you really want to get into it, if you know who the partner was, check their following list as well and the followers.
That's like the ultimate answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like usually you follow each other cordially for like another few months after.
They're probably on mute though.
Yeah, restricted, mute stories.
Yeah.
Those are new, right? Well,
No.
was it always
I
there?
think so.
It's been there for a while.
recently found out.
What, muting?
Yeah.
Muting's been around.
I love muting people.
Really? Am I muted?
Am I muted?
I thought you checked who looks at your stories. You should know.
No, just
it.
on the very bottom, like people that.
Oh, you only look at the very bottom.
He's not checking for you.
I know my friends are checking.
You could also check the likes on their photos. If they post a new photo, check the likes.
Oh,
if
yeah,
the like
yeah,
is,
yeah, that's
doesn't
true.
have the partner.
Yeah.
If the partner isn't liking all their new photos, that's a sign.
How about you, Kyle? Can you tell?
No, I never
you
thought
just
about
learning
that at
this right
all.
now?
Yeah, I never thought about that at all.
Yeah, you look like you were learning from everyone.
Yeah, I was like, interesting. Did not think about that.
That's when all the boys go, fresh meat.
Add them into the orbit.
Yes.
Oh, you're talking
Let's
like
start
girls?
orbiting.
Or just everyone in general.
I feel like it's girls usually do that more than guys. Do guys do that? Like when you break up, do you post more on your stories or?
I typically don't post about my relationship at
Yeah.
all. I like keeping it somewhat private-ish.
I feel like I generally start to go out more. So
Yeah,
like, just
yeah.
like naturally have more content
Yeah.
rather than when you're just like at home with your significant other like
Yeah,
pretty frequently. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. I think we've had a pretty fruitful conversation
Conversation
around.
is bad. Born? Bad fruits? Born fruits? What's the past tense?
Bear the
Huh?
fruits.
bared.
Bared?
Bared a
That
lot
doesn't
of
sound
fruits.
right.
It was very fruitful.
Very fruitful.
Yes, very fruitful conversation. So we know about orbiting. We know about planting seeds. What else was there?
How Instagram works in the dating life.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
the algorithm.
Manipulate
Algorithms.
the algorithm.
Yep.
Yeah.
For our viewers.
and for
yes.
me, I was taking notes.
Yeah, you're taking
How
notes.
guys plant seeds.
You're always gonna think about it now. Whenever someone like likes your.
Yeah. No, the liking I always knew. But
Yeah.
Yeah. But I didn't know it was a long game for you guys.
Well, do you know the song "Area Codes" by Ludacris? He talks about how he has a girl in every area code.
Oh yeah.
You gotta plant them everywhere, wherever it may be.
Free housing, right?
Free housing. you're visiting a city. It's like, oh hey, like that guy who like came back from China or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you never know where you might be. You might be in Texas somewhere. You're like, oh wait, I matched with someone who like moved to Texas, but I left it vague. So time to hit them up.
That's a draw as well of living in New York City as well,
Yeah.
because I've lived in other cities like Chicago being the main one. When people from Chicago visit New York, you can, you know, hit them up,
Fair.
reap your seeds, reap your fruit.
Yes.
I don't know what the saying is.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in for this episode of BYOT. You can catch us on Spotify and on YouTube and our Instagram
And TikTok.
and TikTok.
And Shopify. Spotify.
Shopify. We got some merch on Shopify.
Shopify. Not Shopify.
Are we gonna have threads?
Oh, threads.
Threads.
If,
No.
if any of you guys want to manage that.
No.
I don't even have my own threads.
Are you serious? Oh.
I was never on Twitter, so.
I was never either.
I wasn't either.
That's why I don't want to be late this time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I learned today? That if you have threads, you can't deactivate it.
You have
Yeah.
to delete your Instagram.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
So that's why I was like, I'm not getting
I
threads.
activated it, but I turned off all notifications. So
Oh.
I don't use it for anything.
It was so annoying, like when you first download it, and then people start following you, and then you're just getting all those notifications.
Oh, yeah, I
like,
turned
it's
off
So
all those.
annoying.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
How many times have you said that?
All these
And
tangents.
then, yeah, see you next time.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we need clickbaity titles for everything.